Good day from our Alternative Alley segment. Stay tuned for a guitar tutorial on Matchbox 20's 3 a.m. In this live stream, we're going to run through about 6 or 7 concepts that will help you play 3 a.m. by Matchbox 20. We shall be right back. I'm good. Violette of String Sound Studios, and how y'all doing out there on Instagram? If you're watching us live on Instagram for a better viewing experience, you might want to go over to YouTube, String Sound Studios. So just punch that in, String Sound Studios, and I'm going to keep going live here on Instagram from now on. If you go on to YouTube, or we're streaming to you from a whole bunch of different platforms, okay? So you can chat with me. You can't chat with me on Instagram. I'm not saying it's a bad platform or anything like that. This will be a guitar tutorial on 3 a.m. Matchbox 20. And again, can anyone, if for YouTube or any one of the ones you can hear me or see me on, and I got my headphones on here. I'm going to take them off in a minute. Why am I wearing headphones? Well, I can actually hear the backing track a lot better. Sometimes it's a problem to hear the backing track and play along with it. So I will take those off and teach it to you, and maybe I'll put them back on later. So let's get the headphones off. All right, so here we go. I like wearing the headphones. I can hear myself really good in the mic. All right, so remember, please subscribe to all our social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. There's some new ones out there we're streaming to, and if you're on those, Twitter, YouTube's great, Vimeo. We need some people on Vimeo, which is an excellent platform. That's where I host all my videos. So we're going to get right into playing this song. It's a great song, and I'm real happy about doing it, and always real happy about doing live streams. So please feel free to ask questions or tune in and say hi. Okay? So here we go. Now, I talked about 6 or 7 concepts that will help you play 3 a.m., and we're going to discuss those right now. Now, first things up. On their studio version, I've seen them do this in many different ways. They use a capo, okay, or they tune up. I don't know exactly what they do. It would make more sense to use a capo. That's why I'm using one, because my backing track's in A flat. Remember, when you use capo, changing the key, you're going, raising the key. So I'm going to play it here. This is not a G chord, okay? So it's going to be in the key of A flat. All right, so I'm going to be playing with a capo on the first fret in A flat major. That's first. Now, a little bit about a capo. When you put the capo on, okay, I want people, and I'm going to zoom in and show you a whole bunch of different things, okay? And I'll do that in a minute. We're going to get to the tune, but let's just talk about the capo. Capo's first position. I can't zoom in on Instagram, I'm sorry. Okay, I can only zoom in on all the other platforms. All right, my capo's nice and straight, close to the fret. All right, I don't want to see it crooked, and let's zoom in so you can take a look at that. And hopefully you can still see the guitar. I'm going to hide behind my chat box here. On Instagram, I believe you can. And I'm going to show you all the things they're doing there. Nice and big there and on the other platforms. So switch over to YouTube on Instagram. Now, and I strum up here and I pick up here so you can see everything. Nice, big, and clean. All right? Now, first of all, if we take a look, go back to the capo. It's nice and close to the fret. Okay? When you put it on, make sure it's really open. Right? It's really open and it comes down and clamps down. I see people put it on and they slide it and then the strings are bent. Now, that's not good because that's going to put you out of tune. So you got to make sure you put that capo on correctly and don't have it like this on the fret, right? Because then you're going to get buzzes. So close to it, open that whole thing up, make sure the strings aren't, put it down in the back, and then let the clamp go. All right, so it's close to the fret. All right, so that's important, and we're playing in A flat major. We're also will be playing in 4/4 time, common time, 4 beats of the measure. Okay, it's a good tune. That's a good strong backbeat, which is 2 and 4, and we shall get going. All right. The introduction, so I'm going to call out the chords. This is an A flat chord. Let's just go through those. All right, we're going to go through some of the chords and we'll talk. I'm going to do all the riffs. So this one might take a bit here. All right, I'm going to do all the riffs in the song and we're going to take it step by step. When I do these in their videos, I'm not just rushing through those. I go, oh, yeah, I'm going to do a 5-minute video. You got to be patient. You got to watch the whole video. Now, let's take a look at the first 2 chords. Okay, we have this. No, we'll say that it's not a G chord. It's A flat. Yeah, if you play it open, here. Matchbox 20 has done it in G also. Acoustically, rock, done it in G. Now, let's take a look at what I have. I have 2, I have 1, I have 3 here, and I have 4. Let's take a look at those high notes. 3, 4. Those are going to stay there. This is going to be vital when you're playing this song because I'm going to anchor that and I'm going to play around with it with all these different shapes. Right? Pretty much a 3-chord song. 4 if you count as a minor chord in there as well. And at the end I will play with the backing track. But let's take a look. We got 2, 1, 3, 4. We'll just strum that nice and easy. Now my next chord, I'm going to keep these as what we call common tones. All right? This is going to stay there through all 3 chords. And I'm going to bring these inside. So now it's a D flat chord. Yeah, it's a C chord here, but we're not playing there. It's a D flat chord. Make sense? This is my D flat, add 9. This would be considered the 9. Or, you know, some people say sus2. Okay, sus2, you might see that as well. So we got G chord, A flat chord, to a D flat chord, and 9, and these are both major sounds. So those are your first 2 chords. Now, in the beginning, we're going to talk about the strum pattern, but first I'm going to do the riffs. There's a lot going on in this. There's slurring to chords. We're going to talk about that. Right? Let's talk about that introduction. You know you have the first 2 chords. Well, let me just show you that riff, and then I'll go through the strum pattern in the intro. The riff is this. It's a 16th note pattern. You just hear, you can go to the 4th string, and play this note, and we have hammers in here, another concept. Hammers, pull-offs, all kinds of things. Watch. You can do this, hammer, and then open. Now, on a hammer, if you're fairly new to guitar, if you're intermediate, like, oh, I don't know what a hammer is, but on a hammer, you are, or a pull-off, you are playing a note by use of your fretting hand only. In my case, this is my left hand, right? So what you do is you actually take that and you slam it. Think of a hammer, hammer in and nail it, okay? This is the nail. And you slam it into the fretboard and mash that string down, right? So remember, you got to get a little height when you're new to guitar. If you're hammering a nail, and I always talk about this, you want to, you don't want to try a hammer from here. Right? So bam, you have to get a little height. People go, Mike, I can't get the hammers. Alright, so, and it's this. Now how far? I'm going pretty far. I'm going out here. I don't have to do it that hard, and as you get better, or that high, you can do it a little less. The main thing is getting a good sound. And using that fingertip, in this case, and then you just pick the open string. See, that's slow. Alright, so let's practice just the introduction. I remember this was going to take a while. It will at least take a while, because I teach them the right way. 2, 3. Let's do that again. Watch. 3, 4. That's your first riff. Now, the same rhythm, okay, in the beginning applies to the next two chords, which are the same chords, but we do a little bit different riff. Right? We do this. Right? Remember, I'm playing here. So you can do that same rhythm on the chords, but let's just take a look at the riff. Then we'll discuss the rhythm. Okay? You got to listen to this, sync up where it is in the song, okay? So we have this here. This, holding those down, and just take that finger and bring it to that B flat note, okay? Alright, so let's take a listen to the second part. We have this. Oops. Hard to play like this, but I feel I have to show you how to do it. Okay, so again. Okay. Let's get it. That, you have the first riff, which is this. Right? Wrong key, Mike. You have this. Then the second riff. Alright, let's take a look at the rhythm of the intro chords. So it's down, up, da, 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 da. One of the things I teach my students is I tell them, play the bass note. Because there's a lot going on in the chords. You might, if you tune into the bass note of something, you might get the rhythm better, right? Listen to the rhythm. You have that little open sound, right? Now this is interesting because what he does, okay? That last one, he puts this down. I'm hearing this in the song. Plays this open. Strums, plays this open. Another hammer here. And then on the up strum, you put this down. Put that F down. Alright? So then you have your full, because it's slurred. Okay? And that's going to be important because he does that throughout the whole song. Right? So if we get it in the intro, the rhythm's different in the verse. All right, we talk about form and everything else. So we have this. All right, let's get that rhythm again. 3. Can you do that? Mr. Mike's Neighborhood, like Mr. Rogers. Okay. A flat chord to C. A flat chord, excuse me, to a D flat major 9 chord. Can you say that? All right, here we go. Now in time, it's more. Alright. And then you got the first riff and the second riff. I'll do the introduction with the looper so you can hear it. And then we shall continue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's stop there. So what I did the whole introduction, and at that point he will start singing where I left off. Now, when you get going into the verse, when the band kicks in, you got a 4-bar intro there, right? So here's your rhythm. This is important, the intro. Remember what I did. And on the up strum, right? Hammer this. Slow again, watch. Down, keep this right. Hammer, and then up, finally put this down. Alright? So we did the intro. Now, we're still in the intro, but let me take a listen. Let's take a listen to those chords, how you can play them. So the afterthought is like da, 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 da. And before he goes back, he, on the like and a 4. I don't see anyone doing this on YouTube or whatever. It sounds like he definitely hits a G chord. So that's coming in on the and, right? So it's like this. Watch. Da 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 da. So you gotta get this sound. Yeah, listen to your bass line, all right? And that's how the chords will go. I'll put that open in there. Slow. 3, 4. So remember, you got that. Quick 16 right before 1. Now, you're going to have these introduction chords. You listen to the song. I'm going to play the whole thing at the end. Remember, we need to listen to the song a lot, and then you get it. And you can slow it down on YouTube. You can slow this down, too. Although I'm trying to, play it a little bit slow, right? So that you have that. Now, he does, when the band kicks in, he does that 3.5 times. And then he's going to start going into the verse. So the last time, the chords are just going to go. Sorry. You're going to let that ring. Alright? So let me play it from here. 3, verse. Nah, past the very intro when the band kicks in. Watch. So, again, we do that 3 full times, and then the last time, right before he starts singing, you'll let that hang, okay? Let that hang and go for about half a bar. 4. Now, this comes in on beat 4. 16th note, hammers, watch. Then he goes to this open note here. Okay? I want you to play this and go. That's important, right? So he doesn't just continually play chords. Yeah, there's an acoustic in the back. We're kind of playing this doubling, or we're kind of playing the lead here a little bit, right? So yeah. This is why I want this anchor. Going back to that, stays there. We go to this chord as an E flat chord, yes, and comparable to D in that position, right? So watch this whole riff. Now you got to go here. Taking my finger off, that's slurred. Hammer, open. Okay? Watch. Here, open. So that's that whole part. Right? So just listen. You have to listen. Yes, you want to watch. I just played it. You're going to watch and listen now. I'm going to play it slow. time. 3, 4. Okay, so where do you go after that? Alright, we have this. Sorry. We're gonna have this C chord. We're gonna get rid of this, but notice this is still here. Okay, so you're gonna arpeggio pick. Watch. That's the next chord. As he's singing, this is going on. Alright, then you have this again. Before we go back to those chords. So my C chord sounds like this. You're gonna go 5th string. Let's do it again. Keep this off, right? Jump up to the 1st string. These are on adjacent strings when you get to that point, right? 5, 4, 3, jump up to here. So you go. Then you go jump up to 1 and go on adjacent strings, meaning strings right next to each other. Alright? And then before you go back to the chords, you have the that introductory riff, which is. Alright, so let's take a listen to that whole part. Done. Now I'm going to do it here. I'll clean it up a little bit. I'm showing, of course you don't play like this, I hope you know that, but I feel it's valuable because you're not looking down there and looking up here or down here or up there, however you want to put it, okay? This would be down on the neck, yeah. And you're not looking at my right hand strumming all the way down there. I will play it later. Now, I'm going to play it how normally I would play it with the proper technique and the proper placement of my hand. However, I'm not going to zoom out. Listen to the sound. Point something out, okay? On the live stream, I can use a pick. On the live streams, I use my fingers a lot. For a lot of reasons, but mainly to show you this. You can't pick here, it's just going to sound really weird. It's hard enough to do it like this and show you, okay? So that's why I'm doing this here. Make sense? We're doing all that. All right. And there you have your verse. Now, in the verse, he does this just 1.5 times, right? Full, right? Let it ring, go to the. Alright, and then again. So that's your verses. I mean your intro, and your verse is going to do that almost four full times. And we'll get into the other part. I'm going to go back to the beginning and play with the looper, right, so you can hear how it sounds. All right, here we go. There's your chorus. Now, the pre-chorus, let's call it the pre-chorus. We're playing this, right? And then we got the... Alright, so we just tuned in. We did not half the song. However, once you get past that first verse and chorus, a lot of it's the same. Okay? We have the F minor chord coming up. Yes, comparable to E minor here. Right? And I'll show you that. Right. Basically, what you do in the pre-chorus. He does this. Watch. Now he does this. Go to the C. Back to the D. Throw that sus in there, right? Back to the... Then comes your chorus. So remember, you're going to have this. C chord. Back to the D. To C. And he says, baby. Now, in that part, yeah, I'd like you to do this, all right? And then, when you go to this, you can kind of just feel that out in time. You can kind of pick that how you want. He doesn't really do that there. He just goes back and forth, adjacent string to adjacent string. So you got to count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and to the D. Suspension. You feel that out, you count. Right? I listen to the music and I'm almost 100% sure that it's just adjacent string to adjacent string. 99.9, okay? And he's got that suspension in there. So remember, he starts off with this. I'll do it slow. This is the pre-chorus, right? Now to the C. You can do this. I mean, you can do the same. Said baby, then you feel it. Yeah? Then we're into the chorus. So we're up to the chorus. Alright, let's get into that chorus. Baby, it's 3 a.m. and I'm lonely. So watch. Same type of chords. However, we're going to have one of the concepts we do. Well, we talked about, let's review a little bit. Playing with the capo, we're playing in A flat major. We're playing in 4/4 time. We're slurring to chords, meaning anytime you do a hammer, a pull off, a slide, a bend, they're forms of what we call slurring. Right? So that's a slur there. Slurring to chords. Riffs, right? Motif, and, lick, whatever you want to call it, okay? And into arpeggio picking. Now, yes, the whole tune has some funky strumming with some quick mutes and rests. And that's what we're going to talk about now in the chorus. So when you're doing the chorus, it has this sound right here. Alright, so what we're going to do before that E flat chord, we got this sound, right? Rest. Between this going to this E flat chord and this C chord, there's like a kind of mute. So let's do that slow. If you want to get that groove, right? I said, baby, rest. Back to there, right? Now it's the same thing if you're playing down by the pickups, right? You want to kind of rest, you're picking it too. You're going to rest with the palm here. I mean, I can zoom out and show you. You do the same thing here, right? And I want you to see the strumming. And then, same thing, quick rest, play the chord, quick rest. And then you have this rhythm. So watch. Rest, rest. I would practice just that. Let's do that slow. Watch. Rest. And those are coming in on the upbeat. So we have syncopation here, right? rest. The end of 3 and the end of 4? Yeah, I believe so, right? Hey, watch. Now what I also do is watch this. Rest, rest, and here I play the C chord. And then I kind of lift up a little bit before I come back on the C chord. It's dun, dun. Okay? You can just keep strumming. Keep that sound going. When you're breaking up the chords, you do that a lot when you play guitar. You don't always go. I mean, that sounds alright too. When you listen to the song, they got that strong beat, and the drummer's hitting that backbeat there, cracking on those, right? Cracking that snare drum. So watch. Rest. Rest. Kind of another rest there. Now when you go back to the D, the E flat, from the D flat to the E flat. I don't do any kind of rest. Let's listen to that from here. Ready? 3, go. Messed it up. 3, go. That verse part, he's going to go to the first ending. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to play this F minor here, which is just 1, 2. Alright? You count how many times that chorus is before you go to the F minor. Alright? That's 1, 2, 3. It's 3 full times, then you go to the F minor. So let me play the chorus, right? 3, form is important, right? 3, go, right? Okay, it's real minor. Page. 3. Yeah, on that F minor, it's kind of the same thing, like the end of 3, the end of 4, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hold it. Then you do this riff back to the top, although he doesn't start singing yet. Kind of an interlude, then the verse starts again. So you know all those parts up to the first ending. You repeat. All right. You gotta listen to the words, listen to the form of the song. I can play it all the way up to there if you wish. And then we have one other part to learn, and it's really more just about form, right? And that comes in the second ending, all right? After again we hit the, but I'll play the whole thing later, right? Let's talk about that last part. So you get to the F minor chord, right? Now you're gonna go back to the. 3 full times. Alright then, singing. So that's going to follow the same form as the last part, all the way to the second ending. Now what happens in the second ending, okay, is you go to that F minor chord, 2, 3, 2, now watch. Then it kind of mellows out, right? And you just hear the acoustic guitar faintly in the background. Then we have more dynamic. So let's talk about what I did there and how it goes. So we're going to do it from here again. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Watch this. Now this part is. Well, let's take a look at that. He just keeps repeating that 4 times. All right, watch. You got this chord here. Play this. Go up to the open string. This is tied rhythmically. It's 1, 2, and 4. Watch. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Realize when you're doing syncopated things like that, 1 and 2 are on this side of the bar, and 3 and 4 are on that. He's tying that over from the end of 2 to the first beat of 3. So you got to really feel where that 3 is. Alright? Because your next note's going to come on the end of 3. Listen, watch. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and. So here's your riff. That's tied, right? Sorry, I messed that up. 1, 2, and 3, and. Then he's back to this. We do that 4 times. Slow, watch. See, so it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. That's how you're going to do that. I'll listen to it. I'll play it. I'm not going to play it real fast. I'm going to play it down here so you get the whole feel and the sound. So you obviously can play down here cleaner. You can't see it, but listen to the sound. You got to listen, folks. Okay, you got to listen. You can't always just watch the video. The video is great to see exactly what I'm doing, how my hands are, and at the same time you see what I'm picking, but you really have to listen because it's hard to learn rhythm from watching. You have to listen. 3, 4. He's going to go back into that, and you hear the acoustic just going back. Now, when he goes into that, it's the same as the verse, so you can get this going. Play all the verses the same, although it's a little bit mellower, right? So again there, we're almost, once you get past a good part of the tune, we're already running about, what, 40 minutes here, which is fine. Okay? So we're making good time. Then you have to listen to the form. Now, the one other thing he does after that whole acoustic part, okay, he gets into this part here, and you want to listen for it, and it's raining. I think it's 1 D chord, right? And she's raining. Then he goes back to the chorus. So listen for that, all right? Really, again, we have 4 chords in here. Let's review a minute. So we have this, my A flat chord, my D flat at 9. We go to the E flat chord, and in this first and second ending, there's that F minor. It's about those riffs, all right? And then you have the whole form of the song. So hopefully we discuss each part independently pretty good. Again, I'm going to do these and try to put, when I do these songs, try to put every riff in there and show you how the song actually goes. Because, look, let's face it, when you're playing, you don't just want to play the chords. You want to play, you can, you know, and when you're doing this part, or that's a, you know, we need flat chord, you know. So you can go, or just go. Alright, and keep playing those chords. However, start getting a little more advanced and throwing those riffs in. Alright? Or, you know, if you have two guitars in your group there, one can play it. Or if you're playing it, one guy can play one thing, or a guy, a girl, and someone else can play those riffs. You don't always want to play the same exact thing. Anyway. Alright, so I think that went pretty well. You give me feedback. I guess no one's watching. I don't know. They're not watching. They're not saying much, but that's okay. Remember, you can always watch this later. It's all archived. And, yeah, so they'll be there forever on all these different platforms. So if anyone's out there that want to say hi before I start playing the whole thing in like 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No one said hi. All right. I'm going to play the whole thing from the beginning to end. Here we go. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I'll zoom out. I'll zoom out a bit. You can see the whole thing. I'm going to go back and play the whole thing. Hey, that's what I look like. I didn't zoom in right away. All right, on Instagram, remember what I said. If you're watching on Instagram, that's great. Subscribe to that. But however, if you switched over to YouTube or Vimeo or Facebook, you can watch, you can chat with me. You can't do that on Instagram right away. All right, let's check it from the edge. And there you have it. And there's the whole thing. I'm going to admit my mistake. I messed up coming into this part then. But, okay, so I messed up, sorry. That's how it goes. You do it right. I guess I have to review. And yeah, so that was that went well. Mike Violette, String Sound Studio. So to review, we're playing with a capo and A flat. Played a lot in 4/4 time. We had slurring to chords, riffs, arpeggios, funky strumming, dynamics in form, and effects. Okay. Now for effects, a pedal, I'm only using my amp tweaker pressurizer. To get those sounds, I have something called a cab simulator by 2 Notes. I love it. I can go through all the settings. I think I'm using cabinet. I don't even know what I'm using. Some vintage cabinet, with different reverb settings. I'm using my 2 Notes. I'm not going to go through every settings, but little reverb, certain cabinets, certain virtual effects to get more of an acoustic sound. And of course, I have my trusty old early 70s. Late 70s, early 80s, 335. Had this for many, many years. And it's great guitar to do this nice and clean, hopefully. All right, so we're about done here. And you can join me next time, or else. Join us next time. Check the calendar. We send out promos. Remember, sign up for all our social media, folks. Wherever you are, just look up String Sound Studios. Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Vimeo. Go on Vimeo. It's such a great platform. All right, all of those, Facebook, and some of the more obscure ones we're on tonight, newer ones, using Restream here, and hopefully you can hear me well. Yeah, I think you can. My levels are good. All right, and that was a lot of fun, and we shall play like a pro. And you can't see this on Instagram. You can't see what I'm doing here, but that's okay. So we shall see you play like a pro at String Sound Studios. Here you go.